Laugh out loud, it's the place to be, where geeky minds meet so naturally. From pixel legends to blockbuster heart, dive right in, let's set this vibe apart.
Oh yes, laugh out loud. It's a place to visit. You probably don't think I can't think of a rhyme. Well, I'll tell you what that rhyme isn't. It's another episode of what should be the BM squared minus the A minus the M minus the B. There should be 5 of us here. Unfortunately, it's just Ben and I. So here's a little bit of what happened, just to give you all the rundown. Barrett planned on coming. However, we all know his favorite buddy, the Demon Slayer. Unfortunately, the Demon Slayer accidentally slayed Barrett. So right now, Barrett is being brought back to life. Unfortunately, the Demon Slayer has to go on a epic quest and recover the 8 treasures of Galozor. And I have no idea. I just made that up, and that's just a horrible name. So Barrett is not with us. He's dead, but he'll be back to life soon. Don't worry. Alan also.
It's like when Jesse and Kelly weren't on Saved by the Bell. They were dead this week, but they'll be back next week.
Yes. Alan, unfortunately. Okay, so we all know Tron. Tron, unfortunately, was defragged and decompiled. So Alan beamed himself into the system. And he's actually, and this is really cool for VIP members right now. He is on the games grid trying to put back together Tron. So right now, if you're a VIP, you can tune in and watch Alan in the Light Cycle tournament. He's ranked 8th right now, hoping he gets to first place so that he can put Tron back together. So that's unfortunately why Alan is not with us. Matt is not with us because he is having a little bit of problem with his kids, his many kids. See, what happened is he is on a planet called Zebes right now, trying to work with the authorities there because some blonde-haired lady with an attitude came flying into that planet and started beating up on all his kids. And he is not happy right now. So they're trying to take him out. They're working with Officer Ridley right now to get that problem solved so that Matt can be back with us again soon. So a big apology from all 3 of them who were hoping to be here, but unfortunately did not make it, as situations with death and derezzing and child abuse, I guess, have sprung up. So it's just Ben and I tonight.
Very good. So that's what's happening. Everybody is somehow either dead or missing or something or other, or arrested, and that's why they can't be here. But they'll all be back at some point, and everybody's fine.
And that's what happens on the BM show.
Yep.
The most dangerous show you can ever be on.
Yes.
You will either die, you will come into problems with the authorities, or you'll probably blow up. Or probably all 3 at once.
Sure.
But we're happy to have you here.
It's the most dangerous place to be on the BM show.
Yes. Most dangerous place on the internet.
Most dangerous. The world's most dangerous podcast.
So we're at the end of the month, so it's time to reveal our topics for the upcoming month.
So we're going into May. May is this the one that's 5 weeks?
May is only 4 weeks.
May is only 4 weeks. Okay.
So I'm with this first one, I'll make something very clear here. I'm making a huge sacrifice. So on the BM show, we refer to Sunday as the 4th of May. Because anything else, I'm going to tell you, next Sunday is a day that I avoid like all internet, and I avoid definitely all social media because I'm really just sick of it. I am honestly sick of it, but I'm still going to make that sacrifice. So let's talk about our upcoming shows. So starting with the first Sunday in May, which will be the 4th of May, we are actually going to talk about Star Wars. We're doing, I guess it's like a same, different. We will be reviewing the original Star Wars. We will be reviewing the movie The Hidden Fortress, which Star Wars takes cues from, its inspiration from. And we will also be reviewing a movie called The Man Who Saved the World, which is also known as Turkish Star Wars.
Uh-huh. I'm 2/3 through the movies. I watched so far Turkish Star Wars and regular Star Wars.
And I'm sure we have a lot to say.
Oh yeah.
Now, that one, the good thing is Matt should actually join us for that next one. We'll see what happens.
Oh, we get to share in the torture. Good.
Yeah, exactly. That's the plan. So the following Sunday after that is titled If Only It Was on a Different System. And we're going to talk about games then. We're going to talk about games that appeared on a system that you wish it didn't appear on. And you wish it was on basically a different system that maybe you had. Like, for instance, say Ben wanted a Super Nintendo game, but of course he had a Genesis. He would probably talk about those type of games.
Mm.
The
I
third,
bet you he would.
I bet you he's got a lot of those ready.
No, but he'll think of stuff on the fly when it happens.
Exactly. That's because that's how he does it. The third week is going to be our favorite YouTubers. So we'll talk about YouTube channels that we like to tune into. And we're also going to be doing, for some weird reason, a review for the movie The Terminal. We don't know why, but there's some reason connected to it. So stay tuned for that one.
Yeah, there's some reason we're doing the terminal. We not why. I don't know why. And then the next week we might actually have a really better sounding show. I don't know why we would do that, but
Yeah, because evidently, according to Ben, all these shows so far have been garbage. That's awesome.
yes, take it like an ex-girlfriend.
I would rather not take an ex-girlfriend.
I look pretty today. Oh, so every other day I look like a fucking whore, huh?
Yes. So the final week in May is going to be hopefully another BM squared. We'll see what happens. But that we're going to talk about arcade memories. So things we remember about arcade incidents as a kid, which, I mean, technically we're still kind of kids in a way. So, as it could be a memory from yesterday, I don't care. But any arcade memory that stuck with you.
When my grandfather had a sign in his garage and it said that was it grandpas are just antique little boys.
What?
Grandpas are just antique little boys.
Oh, okay. I thought you said grandpa's antique little voice. It's like, but yeah, I agree with that.
Well, yeah, because I see some of them though, like they play more with the kids than the dads do sometimes, or at least while the kids around with them, they will. Then they run out of energy.
Yeah, exactly. And then I've learned what they like to do is they like to feed the kids candy and then send them back to the parents.
Yeah, I hear that. I hear about that too.
That's a good strategy. So
Sugar nuts.
yeah, exactly. And then it's like revenge. It's like, you did this to me as a kid. I'm gonna hyper them up. I'm gonna send them right back to you and let them do that in extreme levels.
Or you get the parents that like all they do is talk about what the kid, what their the grandparents who talk about what the parents did when they were kids. Like, oh, that's nothing. You should have seen what your dad did.
Mm-hmm.
And then the kid comes home. It's like, how come you never told me about when you set the school on fire? Who told you that, Grandma? Hold on a second. Mom, what the fuck?
It's like, hold on a second. All right, son, here's some gasoline. Here's some matches.
We're going to grandma's house.
We're going. I was gonna say at school, but that works even better. We don't want to. Just to let you know, we don't want to have anyone do anything like that. We do not support doing that at all. If you do that, you are a very bad person, and that's me being a nice way of saying what should be said about them.
Yeah, do not set your school on fire, whatever you do.
Exactly.
It's bad, I'm telling you. Set
Yeah.
your school on fire is bad.
So we should probably get started because we got quite a bit to talk about.
So first we're starting with Lumen News.
Get ready to grow. I did not expect to have anything today, but I ended up having a lot of things today. So here we go. It's time to bloom. It's time for the blooming news, people. So here's what's happening. Blooming news. You like it, I like it too. So here's what's happened over a week. Okay.
Oh no, is it half
Just like
is it good or bad?
what's that?
Is it good or bad?
No, this is good. Okay, it's good. I think it's good.
I thought the bad happened. Okay, but
Okay, so first off, they had their live performance. Hey, why don't we just make this a little bigger? They had their live performance in the Billboard Studios. Now this is, if my math is correct, 87.5 beanie. 87.5% beanie, maybe it should say. One member is missing. And I'm sure all the fans already know who it is. If you don't, then I recommend watching the video to figure it out. It's actually a good performance, and it does show that they do it live on the spot. Unlike there are groups that don't like to actually have their microphone on when they're there, but they definitely do, which is awesome. Also,
did you see the first? I'm jumping girl groups here, but did you see the first girls generation performance that they did after Jessica left?
no.
They were like in China doing some show, and it's just like so real, so unreal because they had to change the choreography. Also, they had to give her lines to somebody else.
Yeah.
It was just weird. Sorry, because you were mentioning like one of the girls here is one of the girls is missing here.
No problem. No problem. I understand. So that's that video. Now, the good news is they've also posted the same one and this is kind of weird, in a fan cam, which is kind of bizarre because it's really not a fan performance there. It's just kind of like a camera off to the side that's giving you the same song, different angle. But what's really cool about this,
Same, different.
exactly. What's really cool about this is that because it's the camera, the microphone on the phone is recording it, you get all the sound. So every single footstep is heard. So it sounds like the footwear gives it a brand new drum beat. So it's kind of like a remix version of the song, which I'm actually down with. When you're hearing them sing, you hear dun 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 through it. It's really cool. So I'd recommend checking this out and listen to every single stomp of the feet during the.
I think that was Splinter's gang in Disney's Turtles.
Exactly. So that's another thing that's up there. Next up, this is also cool, is that they did a behind the scenes shots of the Blink Twice video. So you can see them kind of being goofy and having a good time while they're on the set, making the actual video. It also has some other cool stuff in there. If I'm going to fast forward a bit, if I go into about here, you get to see them in the studio actually recording the song, and how that experience went.
You know what? You'd think they would show the video the opposite way. They were showed. Then again, maybe it's who they're trying to grab your attention with the behind the scenes stuff. And I'm like, I like stuff in chronological order. One of the reasons, like I kind of had an issue when I first watched Pulp Fiction. But yeah, it's like, but okay, however they're gonna do it.
Yeah. No, I understand, and I agree with you. But yeah, I do think that they probably want to capture your attention. and so that you're sitting there watching it. Now, here's the next thing, and since we're looking at Sheena right now, this video. Now, I'm not going to show all of it, but this video has probably what might be some of the most unsettling things that you'd see. Let me fast forward to it so you can see a little of it.
Is it the girls with their makeup on?
No, no. This is actually, and of course, an ad just pops right up. They actually show the cutting of Sheena's hair, and you get to see her expression as they cut her hair for the video. So I'm not going to show you all of that, but you do get to see it come off, and they hold it up afterwards. So that was actually kind of cool that they caught that and actually added that into this video. So next, and so go ahead and look for the Beanie Blink Twice MV Shoot Day 1 and put 20 minutes aside or so, and it's definitely worth the watch. Also, guess what? Wait, I got the wrong one. My bad. Where is it? Here we go. My bad. Now we got probably sit through a stupid ad because I clicked the wrong link.
Yep.
And they actually put out, this is the wrong one too. So we're going to see if we can find it really quick. So they put out a new song. And I guess I didn't, what is it called? I think I'll just do this. It's not Bikini, whatever. What the heck did I get? We're going to get, there we go. So they put out a new song, which is actually a new ad song. It's an ad song for a women's product to help with, I guess, menstrual cramps or something. So this isn't probably a song that you're going to rock on your car.
Yeah.
But it is, we just wanted to let you know it's out there if you wanted to check out what they're doing now. It's actually kind of funny because if I go back, somebody actually put out, if you can see, it's not up here anymore. Let me just put in rock. Somebody put the metal version of this as well too. They recorded a metal version of it. So if you that maybe you might want to rock in your car. I don't know. Finally on the news, there's one more video for all you nerdy nerds out there. They went through. Now you want to put an hour and 20 minutes aside for this one because this one's super long. They went through about 42 minutes, and here you go. They went through lightsaber training. So they learned how to use lightsabers. So if you're a Beanie fan and if you're a Star Wars fan and you got the time, you're probably going to sit there and want to watch this and check it out, them having their fun with a lightsaber. What's that?
Mike, why are you reporting about this particular story, about this video? Why are you showing it this week? You should have held this video for next week.
Because I want to get people ready.
Okay.
It just happened to come out this week as well too.
I was like, this is perfect for, the 4th of May.
I'll show it again on the 4th of May. I'll remind everybody.
Okay.
So, and they actually,
they're from the Philippines, right?
yes.
All right. So they're like, can I say that? I mean, because I don't know if people still consider Girls' Generation to be as big of a group as they were, but like, this is like, I guess it's like the Filipino Girls' Generation in a way.
Yes, they are pretty much becoming the Filipino Girls' Generation.
Okay.
Now they do get to the point where they actually get into lightsaber battles with each other. I'm not going to put too much into it. But maybe that's something that we'll cover next week, lightsaber battles, because
who wins? Yeah.
What's that?
Who wins?
Oh, dude, they actually get some good.
Which one of the Beanie Babes comes out on top?
There's actually some good ones. So we're going to talk more about that next week, but I'd recommend going to check it out so you'll be ready, and you'll be able to cheer on. Maybe we'll just run the battles next one because it's only a few minutes for the battles, and you can cheer on your favorite member and everything.
Cool.
So that's it for this week. We'll go ahead and stop it now. And we've got another segment now, which everyone's probably expecting. And that would be, would you like to save some money, Ben?
Nah, I'd rather spend full price on everything.
Good. I'm glad you said that. So let me show you what sites to avoid then, Ben.
Okay, yeah, show me the sites to avoid if I'm somebody who wants to spend the top dollar for everything. Show me the sites that I shouldn't go to because their prices are just so low.
You got it. So we're going to start with Epic Games. We're going to get some Epic Games news. Epic. You know, we got to get Adam Sandler actually for one of these ones.
Does he do Cameo? Let me look.
I don't know, but it probably wouldn't be
Oh,
cheap.
it's going to cost like thousands of dollars for like 2 seconds of his time. But
yeah, but it might be worth it to see him go Epic Games.
let's see here. It's not coming up yet.
So basically, what we're doing is how you don't save money. It's by getting Adam Sandler to cameo just to say Epic Games, people.
Dude, did you actually, I think I might have found Adam Sanders. I found he's a musician. Okay, there's this guy he's the irate gamer. Have you heard of the irate gamer?
No, I have not heard of the irate gamer.
Okay, his real name's Chris Bors, and what he did is he literally copied the angry video game nerd. He was trying to win some contest that the nerd was running or something like that, and it led to him having his own show in which he did pretty much almost the same thing that the angry nerd was doing, but he did different games, and this style was different enough where you're not going to watch one and think that one show is the other show, you know. Um, Shit. Oh yeah, so he did a bunch of episodes where he was getting these celebrities to be on the episodes. He just hired them for Cameo or one of the websites like Cameo. That's all he did.
Mhm.
And I could tell because he would I guess because you could ask him what you want them, you could say, I want you to talk about this or I want you to say this. And some of them played ball better than others. And he had to go and modify what he was saying on his end to make it look like he was really having a conversation with this person. And some of them were a little bit more awkward than others. And you like, I was like, dude, you did not get these people. You hired them on Cameo. That is not the same thing. It's not. It's not. If you want to do it and at the end of it say, hey, by the way, I use Cameo for all this. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I tried to make the best of it. Be honest then. There's no say I tried to make the best of it that I could. They say what they're gonna say, and I have to make it work in the script. I'm sorry.
So what you're saying then, Ben, is we should get Adam Sandler to be another person on the show
and treat it like he's actually here, and we'll like just change what we say to make it sound like he's actually here with us.
No, we should get Adam Sandler to actually be part of the show.
Well, it's not like he's doing anything.
And that would give us 2 B's, 2 M's, and 2 A's.
It would be the BM squared show.
Something like that.
Uh
So Adam Sandler, if you're listening, feel free to join us. We'd like to have you here, and we want to hear you say, Epic Games.
Epic Games. Epic Games.
All right, so why don't we get started on saving some money since we've been talking with this Epic Games site. We give Epic Games enough advertisement as it is. So, first thing that's free on Epic Games this week, the only thing apart from the free stuff anyway that just gets you more free stuff and the free stuff, is Winston's favorite game, Churchill, which is this crazy, whacked out, I don't know what it is type of game that... Get it and tell us what this is, please. I'm curious. It's only $10 normally, but get it for free and then tell me why I should have got it as well too. Coming up this Thursday, the free game this time is Super Space Club. So it's looks like a space shooter. So go for this. It's going to be $15 now. Just wait till Thursday. You can get it at $0, and that's the secret to saving money. So that's actually everything for Epic. We got through that one fast. Next, we're going to Prime Gaming, which Prime Gaming did a little something sneaky because they really didn't get as much as I think normal. So what they did was they kind of be careful because they kind of pushed Minecraft Legends and Gloomhaven up to the top like they were new free games. So let's go over the games that are not Minecraft and Gloomhaven because we already talked about them, but are free, starting with the one you may have already heard of, which is Thief Gold. So if you like your first-person shooters where you're not shooting, you're just running around being stealthy, this might be your cup of tea. I never played the Thieves.
I
So
just did some research. Adam Sandler does not do Cameo or any of its competitors.
gotcha. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, we will need to get Adam Sandler as a host then for the beginning.
Actually, a cacti, have to make a deal with him directly.
Yes. So here's the deal. Adam Sandler, you can be on the BM show, and in return, you can tell everybody on the BM show.
If you come on the BM show, we can talk about any movie you were in that you like, and I will try my hardest to enjoy it. Unless it's like Billy Madison or Happy Gilmore, because I actually enjoy those movies.
We can talk about any movie that you're in as long as it's called Airheads.
Oh, Airheads is good too. I meant the movies that he was like the star of. Is what I meant.
I just wanted to throw that out because it's a good movie.
Airheads is a good movie. I forgot that one. Thank you for saying that one. Also, the one where what's the one Big Daddy where he has the kid? That one was kind of good.
Yeah. So anyway, Thief Gold is free. I've never played the Thieves, but they're pretty popular, so give it a go if you want to. Also, what's free is Priest Simulator Vampire Show. Yeah. This I think is some weird type of game. If you like weird games with vampires and priests and shows in them, and it's simulating all three at once, there you go. Get this game. Have fun. Also free on Prime Gaming is Release the Kraken. Kraken Academy. Which is, I don't know what this is. It's a role-playing adventure indie. Yeah. I don't know if you know, go to town. If you just want a free game, give it a try. It might be a good game. Also is Troublemaker, which is a brawler game that takes place in Indonesia. So if you didn't get Dread Out 2 yet, you could get this if you still want to see what Indonesia's like. It looks kind of like what's it, Bully? I think it was. It was kind of the same thing.
Bully was really good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. So this looks like it's more like an indie version of Bully.
Yeah, because people have been looking for a Bully 2 for years now, and it doesn't look like Rockstar is ever going to do it because they can't do an open world moneymaker like Grand Theft Auto 5 online with it. So,
So there you go. Pick up Troublemaker if you're a Bully fan and you need a Bully 2, and it's like a spiritual sequel to Bully. So that's it for all the free stuff. What's cost money this week, but not as much. First off, Humble Bundle is giving the ID and Friends game, which actually gives you a ton of Doom and Wolfenstein stuff.
I think I saw that sale because I actually went through a lot of stuff after listening to your thing last week. And I cut out all the parts where you were threatening to kill people and disembowel them. And oh, I'm sorry, you never said disembowel.
I did say I was going to strike them with lightning, I think, or something like that. But
okay, yeah, you said something like along the lines of wanting to destroy them and their families, and that's I gotta cut that out. Like, I don't think we need this. We need to threaten our audience.
Well, sometimes the people are into that stuff, and it gets us more viewers, more subscribers. So, but anyway, Doom, $28. Wolfenstein, you get all this. Now, keep in mind, this is interesting. You get a coupon, $10 off for the Dark Ages, and then they get a coupon for $10 off the Dark Ages Premium Edition. Humble Bundle, what were you thinking? So I guess you can get one for you and one for a friend or something like that. Also, Humble Bundle is offering the Play for Miracles bundle, which is a bunch of board games that in video game format. And there's some pretty big names in here, like Blood Rage, Splendor, Agricola, Carcassonne, Terraforming Mars. Man, there's some pretty big board game names in here. So if you like to play on the board but you don't have any friends, this could be another way to do it. $20 and you get all of those titles. And then finally, Fanatical is offering the Build Your Own Breakout Bundle, 2 games for $6. So it looks like a bunch of more indie games. If you know any of these titles, then save yourself some money, pick up 2, spend $6, pick up more, spend even less per game, and you come out a winner. So that's it for the free stuff for this week. So go ahead and go have some fun gaming.
Yeah, go save some money.
Exactly.
While you were talking, I've been on the Cameo website. I organized it from lowest to highest. I am on page 12 of 141 pages, and I am yet to find a celebrity that I have heard of. I'm up to $15, by the way. Now up to page 16. I still have not heard or recognized any of these people. There's been a lot of people. A lot of people are on here. It looks like if me and you wanted to, we can probably get on Cameo. I don't think the bar of entry is very high.
That would be awesome. So yeah, if you guys out there want to have the BM show at your like kid brother's birthday party,
Virtually. We're not actually going to be there, but yeah,
flash us some money. We're coming. We'll be there
virtually.
virtually.
Yeah, we'll make a video saying happy birthday or good job.
Yeah. Or we'll make a video that says we'll help you save some money because we saved some for little Johnny over here.
Yeah. Or if you want us, we'll roast you. You just got to, tell us what's off limits and if there's this particular area you want us to concentrate on.
Yeah. And that sounds like a good idea.
Okay, I'm on page 17. I still don't recognize any of these people. I'm like, I figure at some point there'd be some D-list actor that I'd like, oh yeah, I remember them from whatever. Nope, nobody. It's up to $20. So it shows if you want somebody that you've heard of, you're spending more than $20.
Yeah, exactly.
There were people on here for $2. I'm like, literally, the change in your pocket. You can go and hire somebody to say whatever you. Well, I mean, they have the right to refusal, but you could have them say virtually whatever you want, as long as it's not insulting to them, But I don't know who the hell they are anyway, so it'd be kind of hard for me to write them something that's not insulting to them.
All right, so I think we do have 2 more segments. Do you want to continue to look through the cameos?
I'm getting a little tired of it, but yeah. All right, I made it through page 20, and still not a single person I saw that I heard of or recognized from anything, and it's still $20. Okay, so, oh my God, hold on, no, I found a guy, Chad McKee. If he is who I think he is the guy that says that wrestling's still real to me. Damn it, I don't think he is. No, he's not. Never mind, false alarm.
Okay.
There's this guy. They were at some high school or something, and some wrestler did an appearance, and this guy was like crying, thanking him for putting his body on the line and doing everything that he does for entertainment. And he's like literally crying about it, and it became like a viral hit. And I thought that was the guy, and I got excited for a second, but
So Ben, I have a question for you.
yo,
Did you do something stupid
every day.
every day? Did you
It's really dumb today, but I'm not going to talk about that on the air.
Did you do something stupid that you did so nobody else had to do it?
Yeah, if it sucks and it's something that you don't want to do, I did it, so you don't have to.
Yes. Let's hear about what you did.
I was talking to Mike, and I'm like, "Hey, Mike, maybe we should do Saved by the Bell, the new class. 'Cause we did all the other Saved by the Bells. We might as well wrap it up." And I went on. I just said, "We'll just go on YouTube and we'll just watch whatever's available on YouTube. We don't have to go nuts about it." And then I didn't. And Mike, Mike, you're busy. You got stuff going on, and I just figured I'll take this on myself. There are 2 episodes that are on YouTube. So this is a review after watching 2 episodes, which might be unfair. I also have the help of my personal assistant. Her name is Shay Japiti.
Is he French or something?
Yes, it's a French name. It's Shay Japiti. I pay her $20 a month, and I can ask her any question I want. And Shay Japiti helps me in certain stuff involving the show and with my job.
So she's a cameo.
No,
Pay her $20 and she'll tell you something.
yeah, I guess. If you want to compare it to that, yeah. So Chat GPT, she, I got her from an agency called Open AI. There's somebody at home who's not putting this together, and I love that.
Oh no, we're 36 minutes into this. No one's listening anymore.
No, we got 20 listeners last week.
Oh, see, how many in Ireland though?
I have no idea. Okay, so here's the rundown. Saved by the Bell, the new class, aired from September 1993 to January 2000 for a total of 7 seasons, 143 episodes, way more than the original. And this show is so pretend that you and your friends got a hold of some Saved by the Bell scripts that were never used on the regular show. And you decided that you were going to pretend to be on Saved by the Bell. That is what this show feels like. It feels like, wait, and the scripts sound, at least for the first episode, because I watched the pilot, and then I watched some like episode that was like in the 3rd season, I think. And the pilot literally felt like they just went and said, okay, we'll scratch off Zach and change the name, scratch off Screech, and his name's now Weasel, and okay, not Kelly, Lindsay. They just did like an old script that was never used in the original show. It looked like, and they just like, converted it into something for these new kids. And it has a reputation, and it is absolutely true, of changing the cast a lot. According to ChatGPT, seasons 1 and 2, the completely different cast in each season. So season 1 was completely different than season 2, and in season 3 they changed it again. Season 4 they changed most of the cast, and season 6 and 7 they actually kept most of the cast, and they just changed a few people around.
Okay, so hold on, Ben. I gotta jump in now. So you have Saved by the Bell, the new class, and then you got Saved by the Bell, the newer class. Then you got Saved by the Bell, the newest class. Then you have Saved by the Bell, newer than the newest class. Then you have Saved by the Bell, newest class. And then you have Saved by the Bell, new class.
It's like every year they come out with a new job, man, in football, and all they update is the rosters. That's what this is.
Exactly.
Saved by the Bell, 94. From EA Sports. It's in the game. Yeah, it's and okay, so some noticeable people who have been on the show. We have Bianca Lawson. She went on to become a pretty decent TV star, including being Kendra the Vampire Slayer on Buffy the Vampire Slayer, which was a really good episode. Sarah Lancaster. She was later I would play Ellie on Chuck. And then she's also done a bunch of Hallmark movies. Richard Lee Jackson, he's done some acting. And then, yeah, every episode had Mr. Belding in it, played by Dennis Haskins, reprising his role. And Screech later joined the show, and he was brought on to save it. It didn't make
By
sense.
the Bell.
Yeah, it was saved by the Screech. There you go, ChatGPT. When I ask you later to go and name this episode, Saved by the Screech might be a good idea. It's all right because it's saved by the Screech. Which it wasn't. Screech didn't save the show. It just stayed on for 7 seasons because it probably drew in enough ratings to make it worth. It was probably cheap enough where the ratings were good enough for what they were paying for it. Plus, if you put a new cast in every single year, nobody's there long enough to get a raise.
Yeah, well, I'm wondering if it's really was saved by the Screech or if just Dustin Diamond was like came back. He's like, hey, look, I don't have anything to do. I've got no work. Do you have something?
And then after that, he lost. He had no work afterwards. It was after this show went off the air. All of a sudden, he's at Clary's Comedy Club in downtown, or not even downtown Waterbury. It was, I mean, I don't consider it to be downtown, but off of Lakewood Road in Waterbury. It's this little club that is now a Japanese hibachi grill. But at the time, it wasn't even a comedy club. It was just a restaurant. He was doing a restaurant. They're booking him at restaurants. I saw that.
$20
What's that?
for $20 cameos.
Yeah, for $20, he's doing $20 cameos, but in person. They'll show up at your birthday party. That type of shit. You know? He's like, oh, you got a cameo from Dustin Diamond? Like, no, I got the Dustin Diamond for $20, man. I don't know. Oh, I should have thought about that when he was here. Oh, God, that was 20 years ago. Why didn't I think of that?
Yeah, well, I mean, back then, even then, it'd probably be like, we got Dustin Diamond. Who?
Screech.
You know, Screech. That's the thing, that he's not Dustin Diamond, he's Screech.
And that's I get that's why he had a lot of issues in his life, because like I could see like where somebody remembers you from something like that and that's all they know you from, and even though you tell them 15 times that my name's released time, my real name's Diamond. Dustin Diamonds. You know, if you had a Dusty Diamond, my real name's Dusty, and he's like, you know, even if you went by Dusty, it still sounds cooler than Dustin. They're like, you know, my name's Dusty, not Screech. And they're like, okay, Screech.
Yeah.
It's like the guy who played Wesley Crusher on Star Trek The Next Generation, he eventually just put out a tweet and he says, people stop telling me, shut up, Wesley, when you see me in person. And then immediately somebody went and tweeted him back, shut up, Wesley.
Messed up.
Oh, no, they said, well, what's this Will Wheaton? They said, instead of shut up, Wesley, they said, shut up, Will. He's got, but the thing is with him, is I think he did that purposely just to get that reaction, because I think he takes it very well, because he was on the Big Bang Theory and they oh my God, the shut up Wesley, they drove that into the ground.
Huh.
You know, which I think they did a lot of, and they do a lot of in sitcoms nowadays. But yeah, that was Saved by the Bell, the new class. Do I recommend seeing it? It's one of those things like if it's on and the remote's on the other side of the room, it ain't the end of the world, but you might want to go get the remote.
Well, I think it's the same. It's that if you're familiar with Saved by the Bell, but if you've never really had the experience with Saved by the Bell as a kid.
Hey, you know what you could do? You got kids. You want to mess with your kids. If you got kids, you put on Saved by the Bell, the new class, and you say that was the original show, and they'll never know the difference.
Even though it says the new class on it.
Yeah, they can't read though.
Okay, the kids can't read today.
Kids can't read. Schools are horrible.
Yeah, you got a good point there, Ben. I'm gonna give you that one.
I know some kids that are smarter than I am, but okay. Well, yeah, I would say you don't have to avoid it like the plague, but this is not, if you got a choice, this is not your choice.
Yeah. Gotcha. Thank you, Ben. Thank you for that sacrifice so that I didn't have to do it, because when you messaged me with this the idea, that's why I was kind of like, well, we're gonna have to put it way off because there's so many episodes, and I really didn't want to visit that one.
Yeah, no, you don't have to.
I don't have to because Ben did it for me.
You know what's funny is that TBS got the rights to this show too. So at one point, you can watch Saved by the Bell. They had a 4-hour block. It was Saved by the Bell mixed in with episodes of The New Class, Good Morning Miss Bliss, and The College Years. You didn't know what the F you were getting.
Yeah.
It was like a Saved by the Bell lottery.
Exactly.
You're like, I hope it's an older episode. It's the only time you hope it's an older episode. I'm actually under some shows, a lot of shows that might actually be like that. But it's like, I hope it's not one of the new ones.
They should have changed the theme song to "It's all right, but you don't know what you'll get."
You don't know what you'll get. Da-da-da. And then they have Bianca Lawson. I'm going back into this. I thought I was done with it. Okay. So Bianca Lawson is in there. This is the first episode, and she is obviously trying to be Lisa. Like they're not even covering it. This is the new Lisa. And then they got Weasel, who is obviously the new Screech, except for one thing that he had that Screech did not have. He was not afraid to talk to girls. On the very first episode, Weasel is not only talking to the Bianca Lawson character, which is okay. Screech used to talk to Lisa. He used to have the one apple of his eye that he would talk to. He's talking to all these girls. He's just hitting on girls left and right. I'm like, okay, so he's like Screech, but like if Screech had like, was had more of a libido, or he was like, I'll fuck anything that moves.
What do you, did you just quote Clerks
Yeah.
in the middle of a Saved by the Bell review?
That's what Weasel was like. He's like, I'll fuck anything that moves. He's hitting on like every girl. And I'm like, okay, well, I think that's an enhancement on the Screech character. Cause like I said, Screech was obsessed with only Lisa, where Weasel's kind of like, I like this one girl, but you know what? If it don't work out, I like this other girl too.
Yeah. So Weasel's playing the numbers game here. Cross that one off. Go over to this one.
I knew a guy that I used to work with, and at first we didn't get along, and it was one of those things where we needed to blow up at each other, and then afterwards we got along because like all of a sudden I understood him and he understood me. Like you don't like somebody's being an asshole, but but you don't know that just it's how they are. They don't mean to be an asshole. That's just they're kind of abrasive, and he's giving me dating advice one time, and he goes, "It's the numbers game," and I'm like, what are you talking about? He goes, "Look at me, I'm ugly." And he wasn't too far off with saying that. He was like, I'm ugly. Dude, I get girls all the time. I'm like, well, how do you do it? It's like, I don't stop asking.
Mm-hmm.
And in my experience, 1 out of 10 say yes.
Mm-hmm. There you go. So for our 20 viewers, they get that. You just got love advice from Ben.
Yes.
Play the quantity game and stalk and pester them until they finally give up and agree.
The stuff I can't talk about in the air actually has something to do with that, but okay.
So with that, Ben, do you want to say anything more about Saved by the Bell?
Can you still hear me?
Well, I can still hear you.
Okay, I just hit the button that locks my computer up. I'm like, oh no, did I get kicked off? No, not really.
Okay. So we're gonna move on before we get into trouble with the authorities. And we're gonna move to something that is not a new segment, but this is the first time. This is a first on the BM show. And this will also be probably the last BM show ever when a certain company finds out that we're doing this. So I
First
hope
of all, this is going to be the last BM show ever
this,
that we are recording with Skype.
yes, and it will also
We're getting forced off of Skype because of what we talk about. We're too controversial. Microsoft heard it and we said, no, we can't have you using our software. I'm just kidding. They're closing it down.
no, this is a certain company is going to shut us down probably after this. So we just want to say we enjoyed our run, but we're going to. Oh, you know where we're going now, babe? Don't you?
Okay, it took me a second. We only had a meeting about this before we started, folks.
Exactly. We are going into a special mix and mic ticks. So if you game in your LeMay, you're probably going to want to listen to what I say.
Okay.
Thank you, Ben, because we are doing for the first time a Switch game that's a only Switch game. So I want to say that first off, the VIP check did not come in the mail in time. So the recording of this is not going to be the prettiest recording ever. But we are going to jump into tips and tactics, mix and mic ticks for this game right here. Mario and Luigi Brothership.
Woo-hoo!
And what we're going to talk about is we're going to talk about one of the side quests that you have to do towards the end of the game. So yes, this is end game tips here. And this one is going to be the monster quest 4. I'm going to go ahead and get to where you have to fight the monsters. And I'm trying to do this with the microphone on one side of the room and the TV on the other. So I probably will go in the wrong direction a few times. Basically, this fight it's an annoying fight because you have to fight some bombs or bombs or whatever they're called in the Mario world. And
It's like someone saying the word bombs, but they have a stutter.
yes, like if you
Crumbs.
kind of choked or something, if you gotta say them, eat a bunch of peanuts until you choke and then say their name, and you'll get it right. So here's the thing that's annoying. So I'm gonna go ahead and start the fight. Again, this is the Maniac Monster 4, I think the quest is called. And the thing that's annoying about these is that these will kill you. And let me see if I can get one to kill me really quick, because you'll see how bad it is. So give me just 1 second. Let me take this one out. We'll see if we can get this one to 0. So as you can see, you don't do very much damage. Okay, 0, watch, boom. Kills both your characters. So the only way to prevent this from happening is to not get hit at all. Now, when they first attack you in the 0, they'll run after you, jump over them. Then they're going to come back and they're going to run in circles, and you have to wait until they start glowing yellow before you jump again. Anything before that, your characters just die again. So you have to do this perfect 7 times. Or do you? That's why you have mix and mic decks. So I'm going to show you a way to beat this without doing anything at all. You need 3 things to do this. And all of them are battle plugs. The first plug that you need is Protect Us. Protect Us only has 3 charges, and what it does is it negates all damage. But you can only use it 3 times.
What does not drop and do?
That's the next one you actually need. We're going to take not dropping. Not dropping, as long as you have more than 1 hit point, a killing hit will put you at 1 hit point. Now this one has 5 charges to it, but keep in mind, it'll put you at 1 hit point, so another hit will kill you, so you have to be careful. The third one we're going to add, we'll go all the way down here to what's called Charge Bank, and we're just going to slap that in. Now we're ready to go. So let's watch what happens. So we're going to go ahead and attack them now, and I'm going to attack all of them at once so I get as many going at 0 as possible. So we're just going to zap them first, and I did a great. That wasn't very good. And then we're going to throw an attack out with Mario. We're going to hatch me if you can, so that we can attack as many as possible, if I can time this right. And boom. And now it's going to be their turn. So let's see what they do. And I think you're going to love this. So here comes the 0. Boom, Protect Us. We're still alive with full health. Here comes the 0. Boom, Protect Us. We're still alive with full health. Boom, Protect Us. We're still alive with full health. Our charge bank just died. Why? Because our charge bank goes down with each charge instead of the one that uses a charge. So what we just did is our charge bank has 3 charges. Our Protect Us has 3 charges. The first 3 charges actually went to our charge bank. So we have 3 more charges with Protect Us. Now 1 just got used. So actually 2 just got used. So if we go to our battle plugs, we have 1 charge left with Protect Us. We have 2 enemies. We might be in trouble, right? So we're just going to fire these guys off. And we don't care that we're also on fire either. That doesn't matter. So now let's see what they do. Oh, look. Boom. Our Protect Us is gone, which means we have one left. So we're going to go ahead and attack this guy. Or I'm sorry, we have 0 Protect Us left. And he should go 0. Boom. We stay alive because of not dropping. So we took every single hit. We didn't even bother dodging. And with Protect Us, Charge Bank, and not dropping, we just won the fight.
And you could go and do the same thing if you just call our 800 number right now.
Exactly. So instead of going nuts and crazy, because it took me, I spent probably about 45 minutes trying to learn how to dodge all these attacks. Throw that up there the first time you go into it, you'll beat it without even trying. And that's your tips for Mario and Luigi Brothership for that specific fight. I may have more coming. We'll see. But I hope that helps you guys. There we go.
Cool.
So I think it's time I think we've got a little segments out of the way. That's kind of exciting.
Yeah, we're only an hour and 14 minutes into it.
No, we're actually 56 minutes into it.
Oh, that's how long we've been talking total. Okay.
Yeah. So it's a good time to start getting into our topic.
Yes.
And our topic today
Yep.
are
Start something and it just gets so hard that you just stop doing it, but you enjoyed the part you were doing until it became hard.
well, I think it's worse when it's more when you go all the way through something and you look back and you're like, man, I loved my time with that. I think I'm gonna relive it. And then you get to the part that's hard and you realize, oh yeah, I forgot that this part is in there, and it just kills everything with it.
Yeah, yeah. Imagine that how about with gaming? That happens a lot with gaming. So
It does. And I'm actually gonna start with the game that inspired this idea. So yes, our topic tonight are games we love to replay until that specific part. And the first one on my list is that made me think of this is Metroid Zero Mission.
ooh,
Now,
that's a good game.
Metroid Zero. Now, first off, we all will agree Super Metroid is the absolute best Metroid game. If you disagree, sorry, you're wrong. You may want to go back and make some changes to your lifestyle because you're not doing it right. Metroid Zero Mission wasn't a bad, and if I remember, it's a remake. It's kind of like a remake of the first Metroid. And that's actually really good. It's a fun game. It's trying to be very Super Metroid-ish. It doesn't quite capture Super Metroid's magic, but it's still enjoyable for what it was. And then you beat Mother Brain and get to where you would at the end of Metroid. That's all good. But then comes the second part of the game. The stealth part of the game, where you're on the whatever base and you're hiding and calling through ventilators. It's so not Metroid. And the game would have been good if they just would have stopped it after beating Mother Brain and escaping the planet. But because of that whole stealth part, it's ruined. And kind of Dread does that too with the stealth part, and that's why I won't play Dread. But you played Metroid Zero Mission. Do you remember the stealth part?
No, I just remember really enjoying the game, and then that leading me down the road of playing every single one of the 2D Metroid games that were available at the time. Made it all the way to Fusion. I still haven't played the one that came out for Switch,
Gotcha.
and I was like really looking forward to it.
Yeah. So was that so was that the first Metroid game you played with Zero Mission all overall?
Yeah, because I did the research and I wanted to play them in order, and I wanted to play the easy the most the best presentation of all the versions of the games, and they said like it's not perfect, but it's close enough to the original, and I'm like, okay, I can go with close enough. because I never played the first one, so like I never played the first one on Nintendo really, so I wouldn't like know the difference anyways.
Gotcha. It's very different, extremely different. But now I can understand why when you get to that part with the stealth, you probably didn't realize how different it was compared to how Metroid is. And I think for me, that's the main reason why I despise it so much. Is because it's this whole different game that just doesn't feel like it fits. Because I started with Metroid and played all of them up to Zero Mission.
Okay.
So it just felt so out of place and not Metroid that I just didn't dig it. And even going back now, I mean, I played Metroid Zero Mission again, probably maybe 4 or 5 years ago. And right when I reached that stealth point, I just remembered it, and I'm like, "Oh, this is going to be rough." But I forced my way through it, and I didn't enjoy it at all. So that's my first entry. What you got, man?
I was just playing last night. If you follow me over on Twitch, you could have watched along as I was showing how to master the game of Mega Man 2. I was being a little less harsh on myself than usual. I let myself die a few times. But then I make it to Dr. Wily's stage, and I make it to the part where you gotta fight the dragon. And even though like I know how to do it now, but when I was like a kid, because that's what I thought we were talking about, like both if not now and then, like even when you were a kid, like parts of stages you got that really screwed you up. I would just get so frustrated because I kept falling off the block. You know the dragon, right? Mega Man 2?
I didn't do much on Mega Man 2, to be honest.
Okay, well, in Dr. Wily's stage is split up into Dr. Wily's fortress is split up into multiple stages. At the end of the first stage, you take on a dragon, but you're on these. It's a mechanical dragon. It's made by Dr. Wily, obviously, and he can fly. So you're on these floating blocks, and when I say floating, they're not like up and down floating. I mean like they're stationary in the air, but they're in the air. And you're on one of them, and you're supposed to be hitting them with your quick boomerangs, and he'll hit you with a fireball and that'll push you back. And if you are not on the top block, you're gonna fall to your death. If you're on the top block, you fall to the second lower block. And then you can just jump your way back up. But yeah, I have to remember to be on the top block. And if I don't remember, I've died so many times from not remembering, or before I even knew to be on the top block. I died so many times.
Yeah.
But like like other than that, like Mega Man 2, I'm like a whiz at it. It's just like if I'm practiced and I've been playing it a couple times, I'm really, really good. Like last night I was playing and like I said, I was being easy on myself. Like if I died, I just said, okay, I died 3 times and I still had 7 lives before I just finally said, you know what? I gotta go to bed. And I stopped playing like 2 levels away from beating it because I beat it so many times. Like it's not like, but I was doing it on Twitch because if you do it on Twitch, Twitch will record it for you.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, and those type of battles always kind of stink when it's like you could have all the skills, but then like you just tap the button not hard enough, or you kind of for a quick second guess your initial jump, and all of a sudden you fall to death and you gotta do it all again.
I'm not saying this is true, but there could be an argument that the first level of Dr. Wily's stage might be the hardest level in the game.
Mm.
There's some tricky stuff. They don't tell you what to do. You have to put it together yourself. Like one part, you have to use item number 1 and do these jumps. And if your jump is off by a little bit, you fall all the way down to the bottom again. And you got to go and climb this ladder all the way back up again. And in the process, you just burned energy on your item 1. Well, that's another thing. When Dr. Wily's stage, only thing that gets refreshed between stages is your health.
Mm-hmm.
All your weapons,
Mm-hmm.
they do not get refreshed. So you have to keep an eye on where everything is, and you have to make sure you have bubble lead. You need bubble lead for one of the level bosses, and you need bubble lead for Dr. Wily, or bubble lead, however you want to pronounce it. And the bubble lead is yeah, I remember making it all the way to Dr. Wily, and guess which one weapon I was out of.
Yeah.
It's like you don't think about it and you don't know. You know, you don't know until you play this game all the way through. Like, I didn't have Nintendo Power like held in my hand through the whole thing. I mean, I had Nintendo Power, but that's there if you get stuck.
Yeah.
You don't sit there and play through the manual. You know, the only thing that taught Nintendo Power did teach me the proper order. Everybody does it wrong. Everybody does Metal Man first.
Mhm.
Metal Man, you do Metal Man second. You know who you do first? You do Airman. Because Airman gives you item 2. Item 2 you can use as a stepping stool to help you get some of the goodies that are spread along Metal Man stage. And if you go on Twitch, I don't know the videos there, but if you were watching me on Twitch, you would have seen me do all these tricks.
See, you guys, if you would have tuned into his Twitch, you would have walked through Bix and Ben.
Should I do it would be a while, and I'd actually go through the whole game, but I could do a Ben and Mike Bennett Ben not Mike tricks. I don't know what we call it.
kind of like Bix and Bentix.
Jeez. But that's my first game is getting to the first level of Mega Man 2, which is that it always like throws me for a loop.
Gotcha.
You would think, and out of the robots, the hardest level is Quick Man by far. If you don't have the flash time stopper when you get to the lasers, I've made it through the lasers twice without the time stopper. So it is possible, but you gotta be. It's like being Mike Tyson and Mike Tyson's Punch Out hard. Like you gotta be on your fucking game to make it.
You know, you mentioned about like getting up, you get up to the top of whatever was a tower or whatever, then fall down and have to redo it again.
Yeah.
It's kind of sad that I realized one of the quality of life things that we've got in games recently is the checkpoints, to where if you do the fall, you're just like, you know what, I'm not going to climb up. I'm just going to die. And then you die and just reappear back at the checkpoint at the top.
I was using the checkpoints in one of the parts of Dr. Wily's stage. You're underwater and they have all these spikes everywhere. They're like all over the wall, and the spikes, they move, or you're only going screen by screen because it's Nintendo. So it doesn't scroll from screen to screen, for people who don't know. So you would make it to the end of the screen and it would just draw the new screen, and now you're at the top. And one of the screens, the walls move. So you would have to move Mega Man around to make it around the spikes. That was the one time I used save points, because I knew that was a pain in the ass. So that's another part. So it's Dr. Wily stage, just all encompassing, really, is really tough. Like like I said, the only thing that refreshes between levels is your health. That's it. And I've gone through that. I've learned how to conserve my weapons and which weapons I need for each time. But I've also been through the game 100 times. You know, so if you're playing this for the first time, you can easily screw yourself over. It's like being in Resident Evil and making it to the end and having no bullets left.
Yeah,
You can
exactly.
and that's Capcom too. I order, maybe some of the same designers. And they love this idea of fucking you if you don't watch your ammo.
Let's make them have to start over from the beginning.
From the very beginning of the game. No, they don't go that far, but you have to go to the very beginning of Dr. Wily's stage, which is the only thing the password will do for you. The password, there is no password for each level. There's only a password for Wily's stage, or for Wily's level, or whatever you call it.
But in Resident Evil, it is, if you run out of bullets, you pretty much have to go back to the very beginning of the game and restart it.
Or hope you have a save point at some place, because that's what they have. That's why you have multiple save spots, or save slots. Maybe one of your save slots was like at a good point. Maybe.
See, I was always like good enough to where I had like an abundance of ammunition at the end of Resident Evil, so I could just blast everything. Because I knew that every bullet counted in that game. So I made it a point to practice about getting like the angles right for dodging the zombies. So I would actually run through the areas I need to go the first time, just to kind of see how to do it, and then not save it, and then reset it, and then run through the areas perfectly, and then finally save it.
Yeah, see, I was going through the thing. I was the I was the zombie slayer. My first time going through the game. I don't know you're supposed to conserve your shit, and I'm just going through like, well, I'm gonna kill every zombie in this fucking place.
Yeah.
And you get through most of it, and then all of a sudden you're like, wow, I'm really running out of hand bullets.
Yeah.
Running out of everything. And then you make it to the end guy and you are totally, utterly fucked. I only beat it because I actually sat there and played it over and over and over again, where my strategy of avoiding getting hit was well enough where I could make it with whatever weapon I currently had, which was a handgun.
Yeah.
I was
Well, I
able to
mean,
kill him off with a handgun, but it took forever because I had to do it over and over because I wasn't going to go through the whole game again. I said, screw this. I am not going through this whole game again.
yeah.
I'm going to just keep trying and keep trying and keep trying till I beat it. And then I won't play this game ever again.
Well, that's also the nice thing about YouTube is you get to that point, you realize you ran out of ammo, and you're just like, you know what, forget this. I'm gonna go watch the ending on YouTube, and somebody else did it for you.
I would do that if the game kind of sucked, but I would like the videos that were shown. Like a perfect example would be Night Trap. Night Trap is a shit game,
Mm,
but it's a great B movie.
mm.
So if you have never done it, go on YouTube and look up the Night Trap and the Night Trap movie, and it will go. It was and somebody literally took all the video files and placed them together so it plays like an actual movie.
Yeah.
And it's like I said, it's good B movie. It's a good B movie horror film,
Mhm.
really. Starring Dana Plato from what show was she on? Different Strokes.
Mhm. Yeah.
The late Dana Plato. She's passed.
All right. That I'm gonna bring up my next one.
Go ahead.
This one's actually there. If we get through all the ones that we want to get through, this one actually you're gonna hear this title 3 times. The first entry is going to be Final Fantasy X. I love Final Fantasy X, and I will stay on the. What's that?
Me too. Final Fantasy X is one of my favorite. It's one of my two favorite Final Fantasy games. That one and 8.
Yes, but there is a point where I start to regret replaying it, and that's when it comes to collecting the celestial weapons. Now, the average person is going to assume that when I talk about this, it's to get I believe it's the sigil for Tidus, which is done by doing the chocobo racing. Which is actually not, because I enjoy the chocobo racing, and I love trying to get to 0.00. I actually have a blast doing it. The one though, there's two that really get to me. Now, I'm going to mention one of them, which is Waka, and I'm going to specify his actual name is Waka. And if you disagree, listen to the audio of the game.
Waka waka.
Exactly. Because I can't stand was it Blitzball, and I won't play it. So I will make his weapon, even though it's not as good as the weapon for him could be. But we're gonna disregard that one because this other weapon, I actually have to get, and that would be Kimari's sigil. Getting the Kimari sigil through the butterfly catching game is so super annoying. Because not only is it timed, but it's like, I don't know. The best way I can think of it is playing Rad Racer or Outrun or any of those type of racing games where you have to swerve in and out of cars while taking corners at different angles, but it's done in the perspective of Final Fantasy X rather than behind the character. So there are places where you have to zip and zag that are so super tight that you can't even see where the butterflies you don't want to touch are, as well as there's corners you have to learn that you have to take the inside route. Others you have to learn you have to take the outside route. It's so much trial and error to it. In addition, when you do get it right, like one of the butterflies that you have to catch is like right at the end of the area. So if you go too far, it automatically ends the game. And sometimes, like if you grab the butterfly and get the chest, you'll still go a little too far, and it'll take you to the next map, and you have to redo the whole butterfly game again. So as long as it takes to actually get through it, you can get through it and then get punished because the game switched screens and have to redo everything again. So I can't stand it. Now, I don't know if how far you got into it, Ben, if you did any of the celestial weapons.
I don't think I did. I kind of just tried to get to the end of the game. I was like playing for the story mostly, and I hate blitzball too.
Yeah.
I tried to get into it. I tried to figure it out, and I'm like, that's like it's some stuff. It feels, that's like sometimes you play a game and something feels like it's tacked on.
Mm-hmm. See, I don't really like the celestial weapons as it is anyway, but I feel like I'm obligated to get them. And especially you're kind of going to need them when you get into the higher end stuff because I've basically beaten everything in that game, apart from the very 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 last boss you can unlock. And at that point it's kind of like, well, I unlocked him, and I don't really feel like fighting him. I want to fight him to see what he's like, and then hey, I did it, so I'll just move on. But everything else I've kind of done, and it just they didn't. They're worth getting to do that, but it's just a hassle getting them for just playing the game.
Mm.
So, all right, you're up, Ben.
Ninja Gaiden, and that's like the NES version, and just like playing it back when I was a kid, I actually like I think I talked about this, but it was one of those games like I left the Nintendo on and I actually beat it. But just playing it nowadays, it's like it is so effing hard.
Yeah.
I get to like I think like the third level, and then I'm like, I can't do this anymore. I'm like dying over and over and over again. I got all the patience for it anymore.
Now, is it you forgot how to do it, or is it more like you've gotten older, so your reflexes are a little slower?
I think it's a combination of both.
Yeah. Okay.
Like I don't remember all the patterns, and at the same time, I'm not as fast as I was. Like, and it's that, and again, it's not that because I'm older. I'm out of practice.
Yeah.
If I sat there and played it over and over and over and over again, and I know that because of how good I got with Mario when I was doing Mario 35. I got really, really, really good with Mario. And I'm like, I'm getting good with Mario because I'm playing it a lot. It's like everything else in life. If you do something over and over and over again, you're it's even if you don't even have really a natural instinct for it, you will become better.
Yeah.
I've had people like I had a camera guy who sucked at being a camera guy, but he got better. He was, and when he stopped doing it, he was still one of my worst guys. But he was better than he was when he started. A lot better than when he was started, but still, that was like being a nice guy in prison. No, he was pretty decent. I got people who are worse now, but not everybody. Okay, I'm making it sound worse. I'm gonna shut up. He's not the worst I've ever had. Let's put it that way.
But how is he at Ninja Gaiden?
He's probably really good.
There you go.
He's a pro.
Yep.
He got paid by the people would watch him play. Imagine being that good at a video game that people are willing to watch you play it and pay you to watch you play it.
Yeah, dude. There's some people. Some people are making some serious money off playing video games.
I can understand that. Like, actually, I don't even really fully understand with sports either. I'm like, there's plenty of free sports going around. You can go to the high school and you can watch for free.
Yeah.
The same sport. It won't be at the same level, but are you playing it at any level?
So I find it. I find it a little more bizarre the people that actually are like, well, I could play this game, but nah, I don't want to play it. I just want to go watch somebody play it so I can find out what happens in it. That's bizarre to me.
Yeah, it's like and like people pay all this money. And I've been to games, I've been to a lot of games. And it's like, I do kind of get the fun of being there and doing a group activity, but we could be there all together watching a movie, or why don't we all get together and like watch like some kids have their field day? It's the same, here we got multiple games going on. They're playing tag, and over there they got water balloons. It's like it's yeah, it's you gotta I guess it's something that maybe people who get into it, I know a lot of people who get into it, they used to play the sport. So they know the rules, and they kind of have a love for it because they used to play it. And I don't.
I mean more like people who are like, oh well, I have Legend of Zelda Ocarina. I could play it, but no, I think I'm just gonna go on YouTube and watch someone play it from beginning to end and get the experience that way.
Yeah, like I said, the only time I would do that, like if the game was either super hard and I wanted to see the ending of it, or if it was like Night Trap, but the game itself is not that fun, but the videos are cool and I want to watch them, stuff like that. I would, or if I'm stuck,
Mhm.
but then I only want to see the part that I'm stuck on, and as soon as I see the answer, I turn the video right off. I don't want to see
Yeah.
anything after that. I want to see, okay, that's how you get through it. Okay, bye, thank you.
That I understand, but I mean, if you sit down and watch from like the very beginning, watch like World 1-1, World 1-2, World 1-3, and just sit there watching somebody play, and then you get to the end and you watch the ending. That's bizarre. Now I can understand if you're looking for a trick in it to try to get around where you're stuck, or if you just want to fast forward directly to the ending and see how the game ends. But to watch it from start to finish, like
Or if it's like a game that you liked enough to beat it, and it's got multiple endings.
yeah,
You don't feel like sitting around to do the multiple endings. You go online, you look up the multiple endings, and you watch them. That I can see that, but it's like
mm, yeah,
I did that with Grand Theft Auto 5, except I knew ahead of time there were multiple endings, and I was like, okay, I want to do all three endings, and I did. Or was there four endings? There were three or four endings. I think there was three endings.
mm,
I wanted to see all of them. Is the point?
mm,
The only thing I cheated at is I looked online to see when was the last time I could save the game before I had to choose which route I was going to go.
yeah,
And that was the only thing I looked up on it. I knew there was three endings, and I knew that if I saved the game at this one spot, so I made a special. That's when like you use the different slots. That's one of the time I don't usually use different slots, but when this is one of the time I did use it. I used slot 2 to save that game. This
mm,
way I was able to go back to it, and like I said, I saw all three endings.
yeah, gotcha.
There's three because you're Franklin, and you either have to kill Trevor, kill Michael, or kill the guy who wants them dead.
Mm,
And the one when you got to kill Michael's the best because all of a sudden everything in Michael's life is going great.
mhm,
He sees you like, oh man, me and the wife we're doing really well now, and my daughter's going to college, and my son got a job, and he's all excited, and you're like, you're driving him to go kill him
mhm,
somewhere. He's telling you how great life is right now.
mhm.
I love the writers on that. Like, because when you do the other endings, he's not bragging about how everything's going great in his personal life because it's not. Everything's still the same as it was in the rest of the game. It's only the one time when you want to kill him
Yeah,
that his life turns
yeah.
around. Yeah. Oh, and the irony, it's great.
All right, so I'm gonna move to mine so we can get back on track on this topic here because I got one that you're familiar with, and that's actually going to be Castlevania Symphony of the Night. I love to play this one and replay this one. However, and this is a common problem with Castlevania games that a lot of people don't like, but I have a specific reason. The clock tower stage in Symphony of the Night, the clock tower section. And it's annoying as it is, especially in the inverted castle when you have to deal with the Medusas and the ones that stone you and the guys that knock you around shooting, or, with their blade flying everywhere. But that's all fine. I can deal with that. It's the fact that in order to get, the 200%, there's certain rooms that you have to unlock by clicking the gears on the walls into specific locations in order to open up the wall to get into that hidden section. And that takes sound. It takes a lot of jumping and precise attacking and so forth, but it also takes sound to hear when the gear clicks into place. Usually when I play a lot of like the older games, as much as I like the soundtrack or Symphony of the Night, I would rather just kind of kick on my own sound. So not only at that point do I need to deal with the clock tower level and deal with clicking those gears and everything around me that's trying to knock me all around the stage, I also have to turn my music off and listen to the game and listen to all the clicking. and it just gets kind of annoying to where sometimes I just feel like I don't even want to open this section, but I still want to get the 200%. So I got it. So it's like, I really want to go on with this?
Hmm.
And Ben, yeah, I know you feel me at least in the clock tower portion. Everyone hates clock tower areas.
Yeah, no, that game, I beat it. It was fun, but yeah, there was a lot of parts of it where we're like, ah,
Yes.
yeah.
All right, you're up.
Um, Trying to think of stuff. The Grand Theft Auto games,
Mhm.
like I've beat a good chunk of them, but to go and play them again, you get to these parts where you're like, oh God, I don't want to deal with this. I'm actually stuck on one of them. I think it was like I gotta go like assassinate somebody, and I keep like it's a big pain in, or I forget what the mission is, but it was like there's all these things you have to do. 'Cause when the game starts off, it's all like do this one task and that's your mission. But as the game progresses, it's multiple tasks make up a mission. And that's like what I'm at now, where like there's all these different tasks I have to do in order to beat the mission. It's one of the older Grand Theft Auto. Like I think it's I haven't picked it up in a long time. What game am I on? Is it Grand Theft Auto 3? I think I'm on the second island, and there's this one mission, and it's like, oh man, he's so much shit I gotta do here. Oh, I gotta go kill these guys. That's what it was. I'm sorry, it's been months. I gotta kill these guys that are like up on this island in the middle of the park. And when I get there, I never have the right gun, and I don't know where the right gun is, and I'm just stuck on it. And I'm like, okay, this is as far as I'm gonna get.
You have? I'm sure you have a time limit for that quest.
Exactly. You have a tie line on top of it, so it's like
Does Is it like an overall time limit for everything within that quest you have to do, or is it each individual task has its own time limit?
I think it's an overall one, and I think
Those are the worst.
yeah, those are the worst. It's like and then you gotta like plan everything out, and I gotta do it in this order, and you gotta try it multiple times. There's a mission I'm stuck on right now on Simpsons Hit and Run, and it's the same shit where I don't have enough time to do the thing I'm trying to do.
Mm.
And yeah, I made it up Simpsons Hit and Run. I made it to March, which that's like I think that's the fourth, the fourth stage. That one had different stages, and each stage you're a different Simpsons character, and there are multiple levels within the stage, and or is it just different levels with stages in it? It's weird. What's the difference between a stage and a level? And then there's also quests and missions
Yeah.
and worlds. And Mario Brothers, they got worlds, and each world has 4 levels in it. But then you go to another game and they have levels that's broken up into multiple stages. And then there's another one that has multiple stages that have multiple levels in them. Can we just pick a term and use it?
And it's all under one timer, so you have no idea if you're on schedule for everything. Still, the timer runs out, and you like got one more mission that you have to do, and it was super easy to do, and now you have to start over from the beginning.
Yeah. Yeah. The one thing that's my favorite thing to do in Grand Theft Auto though is you just cause trouble.
No.
Because you don't need to be. There's no quest you gotta. There's no mission you have to solve to to do that. You just go kill a few people, have the police after you, do a chase, get the stars, and all of a sudden, like you get the bribes that are like all over the map. You collect the bribes, and the stars go away, and then the police don't want you anymore, and you just got away with like killing a bunch of people, and you're like, the morals in this game.
The only problem with that, and it's like open world games, is that you do that, and then it's like, well, what else do I have to do? Like playing Skyrim, I got to the point where I was just delivering books to somebody in a fort, and like, here you go, here's more for your collection of books. And I realized at that point, it's like, I could have done the story, but I don't care about the story. I kind of want to make my own story, and by doing that and making my own story, I've done everything that I want to do, and it's just kind of time to move on because there really isn't anything fresh to do.
Yeah.
So.
I don't want to be a party pooper, but I'm looking at the time, so maybe we should start bringing this home.
Oh wow, okay, because I still had 3 more to go, so I can run through those pretty quick.
Yeah, I think I'm kind of done. I could probably think of more, but my brain's starting to shut off.
Okay, so really quick, Final Fantasy One, the Ice Cave, especially because I played it on NES, and where anyone dies, you can't resurrect them. You don't have any sort of Phoenix Downs or anything. In the original one, that made that annoying because I hate when anyone dies and their XP points are not in sync with each other. So
Was that like in order to bring him back to life, you had to go and like bring an offering to the church?
yeah, you had to go to the city, to the church, or whatever it was, the clinic, and bring them back to life, which means that you now have to run from every single battle if you want to keep their XP at the same place, which causes more deaths. So, and Final Fantasy, the Ice Cave, there's a few monsters there that do um, instant kills. So it is where it starts getting annoying. Next one was Super Mario World, which Tubular is one of those, but it wasn't the one I was to mention. I'm one of those people that like to get 100% of the map, which means there's a secret in the last ghost house that I have to unlock. However, it's so annoying to get because it's one of those blind move the controllers and hope that you get the coin blocks to go in a certain order so you can run and duck through a small space to get the key to unlock and blah blah blah. It's annoying. It takes me forever to do. I hate it. Everything else about the game I love. And then the last one, going back on Final Fantasy, is Final Fantasy VI. Two things that I don't like about that. One is the opera house, which everyone loves. I despise that, and I makes me want to turn it off. But even worse than that is just one of the characters, which is Gao, and dealing with him on the Veldt to get all of the different attacks and having to put up with his personality. It gets old fast. A lot of people say he's the strongest character if you drove him properly on the Veldt. I say to that, good, have fun doing that. In the meantime, I'm just going to play through the game and make every other character strong except him, and I'll still beat it in less time than you did. So that's a quick run through the last ones that I have.
All right.
So next week is the Star Wars movies. So be ready for that. And we will show the Beanie lightsaber fights as well too on the news.
Yeah, we'll take bets and
Yes, exactly. And we'll see if we'll have Ben guess who wins in each one before it starts, and see how many he gets right. He's gonna have to guess who wins just off of how they look.
yeah, I'll probably be like guessing by like, the color of their lightsaber.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
the girl. I don't know their names. I
Always cheer for the red lightsaber when it comes to Star Wars movies.
It's usually the villain, right?
Exactly. We always want the villain to kill Luke Skywalker or any good guys, so that way there's no more Star Wars movies after it.
Next week, we're also going to have maybe a slightly different look because we'll be using different software. So I don't know what their videos look like, but I know this is boring as hell. It's my picture and Mike's picture, and our names light up when we talk. I'm sorry, it's not more exciting.
Exactly.
We're saving you by having to look at us. Looking at us, you'd fall in love instantly, and all of a sudden you're obsessing, and you're sending me and Mike love letters, and we're saving you all that hassle. All that hassle to saving you from it. Just
So yeah, the good news is it will be a little bit different. Instead of just being a picture of Ben and a picture of me and having our picture light up when we talk, instead it'll be a picture of Ben and a picture of me, and the other person's picture will light up when you talk.
yeah, whoever person's being silent, their picture will light up.
Exactly.
I was using Zoom for my Bible study. This is like back when we were in lockdown, and it would make full screen whoever the speaker was, and this thing was the most inaccurate thing. Someone would clear their throat, or you hear my chair making noise, and all of a sudden I'm on full screen, and I'm like, I'm not the one talking.
Yes, yeah. I've seen that happen before too.
And so like I think the second week we did it, we set it so it just everybody stayed the same size, and it worked a lot better because it was getting distracting.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, like all of a sudden, like, they're picking their nose, or they're looking around the room because they're thinking about something. And I think, it's it looks very unprofessional.
Yeah. But we'll be using something, we don't know what it is. Maybe we'll figure it out.
If
So
you have a
that-
suggestion, if you have a suggestion, if you made it this far in the show, thank you. If you have a suggestion for a replacement for Skype, please leave it down in the comments below. It would be appreciated. We're looking at Zoom, we're looking at Teams, we're looking at whatever.
That's of course if we don't get taken off the air, if Nintendo doesn't come after us.
The big N.
The big N taking down the little BM. The big N taking the little BM over there.
That's so wrong.
Yeah, well,
That sounds Song of the South wrong.
Wow. Okay, so that's gonna take us down to
Zippity doo dah. See you next week.